Hey everyone, this is Julia, the nomadic crafter, and Bambi, and we're just walking through this eroded ravine on the side of the road where we're parked on the side of the road. So, all right, don't lay down in the mud. Come on. Yeah, it just like eroded. This is as far as we could go back there. Well, we could go further. Wow. So, all right, go ahead. She's a good listener. Yeah, it's just really cool to see this erosion. Go! We've already scanned this area for snakes. It's freezing in here, so I don't think they're in here. But you know, it's funny, when I was on Widespread Panic Tour for all those years, I would bring a snake bite kit with me. I don't have one now. All right, wait up. I don't let her get too far ahead of me because I need to see where she's going. And when I say wait, she waits. Yeah, wait. That was pretty cool. Now she's resting, but I'm freezing. I'm going back in the sun. So yeah, let me show you where we are. Bambi, wait. So, we are parked off the side of a very wide road. That's just one of the pull-offs. It's got to be the biggest pull-off in the whole area. And we just parked on the side of the road of it because I didn't want to go any further into this. There was a sign that said loose sand. This is obviously, you know, the water comes through the lowest point. But look at the size of this giant road. This is the road here. And we don't know what's back here because we didn't go that far. But a couple cars have already driven out of here from last night. See how big this road is? So you'll be able to see the van right there. Can you see it? We're like right out in the middle of everything, but again, I was too afraid to pull in further into this loose sand, and I think I said there was a sign that said loose sand. So, hi, Bambi. Do 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 do. She's having a ball. So yeah, last night we left the library in Borrego Springs. I got all my supplies. I found a tank of cooking fuel for almost $8. Hi, we can take a break. And we got some, you know, crappy dog food, and some other things. And anyway, we left the library, and it was dark because I had to utilize the internet while I could. And so the library closed at 8. And so last night we had to find a place to park, a pull-off on part of the park I haven't been to yet, at night in the dark. So we just left Borrego Springs and heading towards the Salton Sea. And this was the first or second pull-off I could find. And we just drove down a little bit. And we just parked there. So, hi, Bambi. She's galloping. So we've already been through here. There's no snakes. That's what I like about it here. They're not going to come right here. They're going to come over there. And you can see their holes over there, or somebody's holes. Anyway, snake awareness, people awareness. You know, one of the funny things, it's not funny, but one of the cool things about being out here, not this specific place in general, but putting oneself out in situations, especially in nature where there's still wild creatures, but in unfamiliar situations, is that you you rise to the occasion, as they say. Your senses become heightened. Bambi, wait. You can take a break if you want. Your senses become heightened, and you're like not anxious, but you're ready. You're at your full potential as a human being, as an animalistic human being, as a responder rather than reactor. You're maybe that's not the best way to put it. But yeah, if you think you can't do this, is what I'm saying, you can. Your person and your body will come to the challenge. And if you're afraid at first, then be afraid. Sit in the front seat of your van, lock everything up, do whatever you need to do to comfort yourself, massage your neck. But that'll pass, and don't rush it. You'll get to a place where you just respond to everything, as you were built to do. We were built and have always lived out here in nature. And our lives of convenience, and we know what's coming all the time in a way. And whatever comes, we have a service that we can use to fix it. If the house floods, we call those guys in. If the arm breaks, we go to the doctor. If, we need food, we go to the grocery store. Everything's so set up and so convenient for us that we never get to be in that place of real challenge. It might be a challenge to write that report for your narcissistic boss, and you might get some satisfaction from pleasing him, for example, but not like you're really capable of. And that capability comes out when you put yourself in situations like this. So I feel really good being out here today, and I sure am glad we changed spots. Here, let me give you a view real quick. Bambi, wait up. You have to wait before that next clump. So yeah. So last night I was thinking, this is like gotta be the worst spot. Like, we're not even camped up against a tree. There's no it's this big eroded road. I'm right next to the road. But when I woke up this morning, and last night it felt good. When I woke up this morning, I thought, man, this is a cool spot. I just think it's so cool. Hey, where are you going? Bambi. Bambi. Wait. It's so cool just to be able to pull in this pull out off the side of a road and camp for the night. It's no big deal. No one's coming to talk to me. No one's asking for a permit. No one's searching my van. I mean, this is it feels like freedom now. It feels like, yeah, we could just park here for the night. We're all scruffy. We're living in our van. We're just parking wherever we want. Woohoo! What you got there? Come on, girl. Let's go. And so it feels so good. It makes me very happy. And I think I'm someone who needs to move from spot to spot. I think it really gets me down when I stay in one place too long. And I think I really need what I was talking about, to put myself in different situations, to bring out that you sort of get in the moment when you have to deal with a new, unfamiliar thing. And I need to go to different places to bring me to that place where I'm alive and aware. You know what I mean? Da, da, da. Kind of excited. Bambi, wait. There's a car. Hi, desert people. Okay. People here are I'm not saying they're not friendly, but they don't express friendliness in the traditional, hello or please, thank you, waves and hellos. Some people do, but I've been in a lot of different parts of the country in my life and lived in different parts, which is different than just visiting. And people are different everywhere. Well, Southern California, I'm like, hey, desert people. I know, I'm a freak. The guy was like, what are these people afraid of? I got to do a whole video about this. I actually have notes on it. So I'll just leave it at that. But people are so weird here. Part of the way, the reason I'm feeling that way right now is Borrego Springs. I was talking about the small town vibe, and I just sort of, I interacted with two mean ladies. The one was at the library. I mean, I was like, hey, do you have a copier? And she was like, yeah. And then I was like, usually I have trouble with copiers and printers. So she goes, you have to pay for it. Like I wasn't going to know that I had to pay for it. And then I needed help at the copier. I was like, I wanted to make it 2 pages to 1 page, double-sided. And I was like, I think it's this one. Is it this one? She's like, try it. I'm like, well, is that the one? Like, she's the librarian. She said, if you need help, I'll help you. And came over to help me. And so I tried that one and it was wrong. And I was like, and it printed out 2 blank pages. So that's 4 copies I have to pay for now. So I was like, this didn't work. And she's like, well, you were the one that wanted to try that one. And I was like, what? And that's how you feel with a narcissist. What? Like, I'm not saying she's not necessarily a narcissist, but a lot of people they're just unhappy and they're unhappy on the inside. They can function and be generally nice and helpful and hold down a job on the outside. But you can tell they're like, it only takes a little thing for them to come up and be defensive or mean. And it's like, that might not be a narcissist, but that's narcissistic qualities. So let me check the timing on this. Yeah. And that was that lady. And then the other lady at the store, and that's part of why I'm feeling this way, that people around here are like, it's not that they're not nice. They're just not so friendly. Is there a difference? They don't express that. They don't take the moment to acknowledge you or say hello or have a nice day. And those that do then really stand out. And really, it's about my energy. And I'm always watching that, like, did I go into the store a little bit frustrated and rushed? Yes, I did. Did I go in already anticipating that I was in a small town and it was going to be everybody's so comfortable and familiar there. They don't remember to be nice to people sometimes that are new. But I checked myself and I was like, how was I going into that situation? So it's my energy. That's what I mean by my energy. Where's my headspace at when I'm going and then interacting with these people, which determines, that's my part of how the outcome's going to be. So yeah, there's that. This song, Permanent Holiday by Mike Love, I cannot get it out of my head. I'm on a permanent holiday. I'm going outside to play. I ain't gonna slave away. And I was thinking earlier, yeah, it's not that I really totally agree with what he's saying about that. It's that I totally, fully, absolutely agree with what he's saying about that. Let me get you some water, babe. No, this idea of a permanent holiday, like, oh, I just don't want to work and I'm going to just play all the time. I mean, that's always made me a little bit squeamish. You know how I feel about homeless people who don't work or anybody who doesn't work. And by work, I mean, yes, sure, employment, but I mean trying to get at one's life fulfillment, trying to get at one's personal gifts, what we're really good at, and therefore that would be the work that we did, the thing that we're good at, that makes us happy, that serves the world. Yeah, so, that first line, it's like, are you not working? Are you trying to... And the worst is when someone's not working or contributing, but they're taking from that same system. So, anyway, but then ultimately, I do fully agree with Mike Love and what he's saying. His whole vibe is this consciousness. And he reminded me that and so did Appalachia Rising, which is, and I have a song, which is another group that I'm in love with. And I have a song of theirs as the second song in my playlist called My Favorite Music That You Need to Hear. This is what we had last night. Well, I had it. It was good. Yeah. Mike Love, to me, and Appalachia Rising are representing this growing consciousness and how, whatever the movement was in the 60s, peace, love, anti-war, health, democracy, participation, back to the land, natural living. And everybody's like, oh, well, we moved on by the 80s. We're totally out of there. And that thing failed. And I don't believe that. And I'm doing a whole video on it and gathering my thoughts now. And I've been researching a book called Hippie Food, which is just the whole history of how we got to the place where we're eating tofu and I don't know, just health food in general, wheat germ and wheatgrass and all of this and the yoga and the exercise. How did we get there, and how hippies, which is a terrible limited word, influenced that, how that all influenced where we're at now and how we eat and organic farming and all of that. This idea that, there was this dream and our society started to turn in this direction and opened up and explored and learned new things, not the least of which was the quantum physicists learning that the particles that make up matter respond to our attention to them. And that's scientific fact. That's opening up stuff. All of the LSD experimentation, which opened up a bunch too, that whole thing was this big giant dream, and it crashed and failed. That whole thing I don't believe. So let me get back to what I was saying about Mike Love and Appalachia Rising. And I know from my whole life of being with these beautiful musical bands and just being a hippie and growing up with health food and midwives and stuff, in part, that dream never died. It's been integrated into our society, and it started way before the hippies, and it's going forward. It's human consciousness, and that has not died, nor slowed down, nor failed, really, in any way. And Mike Love and Appalachia Rising have this energy, this same viewpoint, this same realization of the oneness. They represent the ongoing and ever-increasing consciousness of mankind, humankind, should we choose to open ourselves to it. And the more we open ourselves to it, the more we see, the more we realize this universe and our place in it, the more we are driven to have that peace, to have that connection with one another, the more hopeful we are about what we're all doing here. Not that society won't collapse, or that, a meteor won't hit the earth or whatever. We don't have hope that won't happen. We just have hope that everything's all right no matter what. There's a growing consciousness that has not been stifled. And I want to go back to this 60s thing. And as I was researching this, listening to this recent book, Hippie Food, that basically nothing didn't work. Organic gardening didn't fail. Living in community and growing stuff and all of that didn't fail. Certain people went out without any skills and failed. But the ideals of that time period didn't fail. What happened, they didn't prove to not work. They do work. All of those things do work. What happened was people, Americans, and our fake leaders and the military-industrial complex, but Americans, where the real power is the people, a whole nother topic, said, I'm going to turn away from this because I want material things. I want more money. I want a bigger house. I want a fast car. Everything like in the 80s, because as the 60s transitioned into the 70s, some things grew and progressed and were built up more, and other things failed in their efforts. And everybody references Charles Manson and, when that happened, that showed the end of, this idea of living in community and just how ugly it could get. That was one scenario among thousands and thousands. The farm in Tennessee is still the farm in Tennessee today. They've been going since the 60s very successfully. So you have many examples of success. So it's not that those things didn't work. Getting back to, I'm trying to remember where I was with this, but that people decided, and the powers that be, that we're just not going to do that. We're not going to accept it. It's like when you're in a relationship with someone and you get to a level where you need to go deeper and more intimate, and the other person just can't do that. It's like that. They decide to not be at their full potential. They decide that the work that it takes to get the greater benefit is not worth it. They've been lulled into the American way of convenience and easiness and sort of everything just already done for us. As long as we work our butts off for the money to exchange for that. They've been lulled into that. No one wanted to, the people didn't want to take it further because they just wanted to sit in their comfort of their codependency and their narcissism and the comfort of not having to push forward. So it's not that movement in the 60s didn't flower. It did. It's evidenced everywhere in our society and in the world. It's just that people choose not to do it, not to be successful, not to be conscious. So what we're all going to do is we're going to do our very best to be ourselves and go into that place and be conscious, because we're going to be witnesses for those others. That's the only way people are going to wake up and get out of the darkness that we're in. And we are in it together. So when my brother or sister's in darkness, so am I to an extent. This is an interconnected thing. Everything from the material things, which as we know aren't really, to the energy, the electrical, magnetic energy that's all interconnected with everything. The more we look, the more we see the interconnection. So we got to do this together, and we can be a witness by increasing our own consciousness. And yes, the journey is worth it. Yes, the effort is worth it. Once you latch onto that and you sort of get it, nothing can stop you. You don't want to go back. Once you go consciousness, you never go back, in a sense. You're moving forward. That's the best journey ever. There's a car that's now parked. They're probably worrying about me, and now I'm worrying about them, but they're parked there and sort of just parked there. So I think Bambi and I'll end this video now. And I want to thank you for listening to my garbled, crazy video talking about all this stuff. Hold on a second. I can't focus when those people are slowly driving by my van. So they waved. They drove by. They're people, you know. That's the thing. One of my commenters was like, I'd be so scared to be out there. And I was saying, you know, that's what I was saying at the beginning of this video. You rise to the occasion. It feels good. It feels good to be more fully yourself, you know, because you put yourself out here in the world. So I want to say thank you for watching our video. And Bambi and I are going to, what are we going to do now? See, it's awesome. Well, we're going to the Salton Sea today, so I guess we better get going. We'll probably, who knows? Who knows? All right. Thank you for watching our video, and I hope you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I just wish you love and light. And just don't be afraid. Not that I'm not afraid. I'm afraid and doing it. So you go do it. All right. Thanks for watching. We love you. Bye.